Good evening, everybody, and welcome. This is a regular meeting of the Allendale Land Use Board, at which formal action will be taken on the items listed on the agenda and upon any other matters which may properly come before the Land Use Board. The requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied through posting on the public bulletin board and in the municipal building and on the borough website and by publication in the Bergen Record on January 28th, 2023, with copies being sent to the Ridgewood News. Certain agenda items will be open to the public for comment and/or testimony. The board will advise the public when such matters are open for their comment and/or testimony. I would like to start first with a salute to the flag, please, so if you'd all join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Linda, if you'd be so kind, for a roll call.
Vice Chairwoman Bergen is absent. Board Member Petrino.
Here.
Board Member Kistner.
Here.
Councilman Delavatio.
Here.
Board Member Dello.
Here.
Chairman Cerrito.
Here.
Mayor Wilczynski is absent. Wolfgang Rosella.
Here.
Wolfgang Butler.
Here. Thank you. A little unusually for most of us here, 2 meetings this week. Thank you for those who are here again. Greatly appreciate it. We don't really have any other business except to jump directly into the public hearings, of which there are 2 tonight on the agenda. The first one we're going to start with is application file number LUB 20-23-05. Michael Zioli and Samantha Danubio, 41 Elmwood Avenue, Allendale, block 2009, lot 4. And the application is for a 2-story addition in the rear and side yards and pursuant to section 270-37A. And this is a continuance from our July 19th meeting of 2023. Okay, so there you are, sir. Yeah. Okay, before we start, excuse. I got to put you down.
So is recused because
Thank you.
This is a D variance.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. How do we do?
I know you were sworn in, but I just swear yourself in again. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth through the course of this application.
I do.
All right. Name and address, please.
My name is John Ferraro, John Ferraro Architect, 37 Maple Avenue, New City, New York, 10956.
Okay. Thank you again, Mr. Ferraro. You know, you've been before us before.
Yes, I have.
We all know why you're here again. So
Okay.
please, if you would be so kind to take us through what you're before the board for, please.
Okay, so we started out with a 2-story addition, and we were required to get 3 variances, 1 for side yard, 1 for a combined side yard, and 1 for floor area ratio. We have since significantly reduced the size of the project. It's still a 2-story addition, but now it meets both the side yard and the combined yard requirement of 15 feet. And we reduced the FAR from 33% to 27%. 25 is the maximum that's allowed. So we're only 2% above what is allowed. So now we're just down to 1 variance instead of 3. And we are just 2% over the maximum that's allowed.
Okay.
You have that in front of you. I've illustrated to you how I came up with my calculations because it was indeed tight.
Okay. Michael, I'm gonna ask you, I know you reviewed this.
Yeah,
okay.
So
the FARs are okay, and please.
Yeah, from what was provided to us, it looks like, the calculations were done, it looks like on a computer based on a polygon drawn around the floors. But the calculations look like they're in line with what we would expect based on the geometry of the 2 floors. And as indicated, the proposal has been narrowed up to get the new construction outside of the required side yard setbacks. But due to the size of the lot, it's still going to require D4 variance for the exceedance of the floor elevation. And the D4 variance is similar to a D3 variance, where it's really about, can the proposal still be constructed and conditions imposed on the property to mitigate any potential impacts from what they're proposing to do, versus a D1 variance that's strictly not permitted in that. So
Understand?
it's a little bit less of a burden of proof for the D4 versus the D1.
Okay.
We would still ask, because, should this move forward, that, there'll have to be a plot plan prepared, and the plot plan that was previously prepared will have to be updated and to reflect, the current proposal, and the drainage calculations would have to be updated and so forth.
Okay. Um, Perhaps, Mr. Farrar, if you would be so kind to just maybe give us a cursory as to the mods that you made on this for the board and for the audience's understanding, please.
Okay, so the master bedroom has significantly smaller, we filled it off. the side yard.
Excuse me one second, sir. Linda, are you picking this up?
Fine.
Okay, do we need to bring the microphone down?
I'll speak a little.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just need to make sure it's being picked up, sir.
I would not want my wife to know that I'm soft spoken. She's always complaining how loud so I don't want that. Anyway, the master bedroom was reduced significantly in size. We took it off the side yard about 8 feet to get that 15 feet, and that reduced the overall square footage. The same was done on the first floor in the kitchen. So by reducing both of those and pulling them off the side yards to gain that 15 feet requirement, we were able to reduce the square footage and get it down to where we only need a variance of 2%.
We, we had previous discussions about exterior lighting and finishes and colors of the proposal. Now that we have a new plan in front of us, maybe you want to let us know what the proposal is for those type of items?
Yeah, so the sign will remain the same color that it is now in the house, which we said the last time we were here. What was your other question? The lighting, yes, the lighting will have lighting outside of that exterior door in the back to illuminate the backyard.
There won't be any lights mounted in the peak of the roof, or any floodlights or nothing like that?
No.
Lighting on the door?
Yeah, just on the doorway, that's required by code anyway.
I guess basically, Michael, what I'm hearing is your original notes, everything, with the exception of the FARs and the variances, everything that you had pointed out before still needs to be done.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had, asked about the finishes and the colors.
Yep.
For confirmation on that, which we heard. I assume if this is approved, the fence encroachment will be resolved.
Yes.
And what is the plan for the exterior mechanical equipment of the AC?
They're going to be relocated.
Two.
I don't remember where we said they were. I think they're behind the garage. Do you remember the side behind the garage? Behind the garage. So if you look at the site plan they give you, you can kind of see it peeking out there. You just move it over to the left. So, and that will be on the plot plan itself, that new location.
Okay.
That covers the majority of the comments and questions that we had.
Okay, we had no trees.
Correct.
No trees being removed.
That's correct.
Okay, that still holds. Again, I'm referring to note to the letter, from Van Cleef dated April 25th, 2003, which again is a note that I was referring to. Okay, so are we good on, or I would like to potentially hear testimony on the access?
Right, so we
Okay,
submitted-
that was a point,
Yeah,
that was
so
a
we
conversation the last time.
Yeah, we submitted, documentation of photographs of equipment that is readily available
Mm-hmm.
that will fit in between a 5.5 foot, 6 foot space. That side yard is 7.4 feet, so it gives them a little bit of wiggle room for moving and out of that rear yard.
Okay.
And they're readily, available for rent or purchase in all of the local, equipment rental places.
Okay, so when I look at this plan, I'm seeing 7.4 at what I'll call the front.
Okay.
Then I see a wood fence, and then am I seeing a porch? Is that what that word is, a porch?
The front porch.
The
Looking at the front yard?
side porch.
So
see where
that
it
porch
says-
exists,
Okay,
it's a covered porch, that exists.
so will the equipment make it around there? I don't, because this isn't dimensioned unless there's another drawing. I'm sorry, board members, if I'm missing something, please
Well, if you
correct
look at
me.
The site plan. The site plan shows it squared off. So that porch does not come beyond 7 feet.
What's beyond that, in front of the wood fence, I guess? The site plan.
Actually,
Chimney?
oh, that's the chimney.
That's a chimney. So therefore, the dimension from the chimney to the property line is less than 7.4.
Well, like I said, the equipment we're finding, we can get even in a 5 foot space.
We don't know what that, yeah, respectfully with the 5 foot, I understand.
We know that.
But do we know what that-
Scale.
Thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
on the scale. Maybe we could just get a dimension for, because it is part of the building, that side yard should be measured from the chimney. No, this is a chimney. There's a fireplace. I think that's a chimney.
Internet, walking, keep walking.
I'm also looking at the previously submitted survey of the existing, and that dimension is not called out.
Yeah, typically surveys go to the house, they don't go to.
Right, I think for the side yard purpose, you gotta identify only because it's part of the building, you gotta identify the distance from the corner of the chimney to the property line.
That's correct. This is.
This is the one.
That's the window. This is.
In front of that, there's a
Yeah,
chimney.
right, that's the. 5 foot 10. And the thickness of the line is 6 feet. And one looking at a drawing, one 20.
Right here,
That's a window well.
that's a window well?
Yeah,
That's
so
what
you
the
have-
BW means, okay.
Yeah, you got a window well, window.
Again, I
well,
apologize, I
Yeah,
can't
it's
see
fine. So there's 3 window
Got it.
wells, and then this is the chimney. So
Okay.
the distance from here to the property line is 5 foot 10.
All right.
It's pretty much, and honestly,
It's this
it's the same,
side.
it's basically the same as the left side. Cause I think the left side's fine.
Yeah, the left side, 5'10",
5'1", but
And your thoughts on this, given the equipment that you proposed?
yeah, I mean, that's, look,
Okay.
I mean,
And what do we do with the window over there? I mean, you're just gonna drive over, because the window well's gotta come out. This appears that the window well's coming in.
yeah, I mean, they might have,
Not
to
put a
get rid
board
of
or
it.
something like that.
Yeah, something, but I mean, this here is very much better.
Yeah.
than it was, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, this is a big.
yeah,
The owner is telling me that the window well does not go beyond the chimney.
Doesn't go beyond the chimney.
Does not.
There might be pictures in the
One of
office.
I think that one.
I'm sorry, we're going through
The first.
the original
submission,
stuff from the submission, yeah.
I think that's that's full.
Here's the chimney.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
This is the side and the office.
okay. You might not be able to see it. And it's really kind of like,
It's in
right,
here.
it's right in front of that. So, it is.
Mhm. If we got any other thought, I mean, board members? Questions?
I don't know, Mr. Ferrera, I know we might have asked it the last time, but was there any plans for a generator of sorts on this property? I don't believe so. Okay, just so, only because of the nature of the close proximity to your neighbors. I mean, that could be, again, I'm just thinking about quality of life issue that could present just because it's such a narrow lot. So I don't know if that's thought about. I mean, it's something that we'd like to know.
The answer is no.
Okay.
We're looking for a 2% over for floor area ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct requirement is 25.
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
Floor area ratio along with other requirements such as setbacks and coverage are, one of the elements that are used to control the intensity and use of development of the property. And I would say, this proposal is much more conforming than the previous one that we saw. It's a difficult lot due to its size. I don't know if much could really be further developed on the lot without running into an issue with the coverage. Floor area ratio.
Did you guys discuss yet what's happening with the roof leaders, if they're gonna be tied in to anything?
There was a proposal that was put together by their engineer where they were gonna put in chambers and they were gonna tie the
Just so
roof
that, I mean,
leaders in
again, it's,
for,
there's
from
not
the-
much room for it to go, so.
Right,
it's-
they were gonna tie all the roof leaders in from the back half of the building into the chambers. That'll have to be reevaluated, but
Okay.
that was designed for a larger addition than the typical.
Right, so the drainage will be less because of the less roof surface.
Mhm. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, for now.
Okay. Do I have any other questions from?
Can I see the pictures?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Dan, if you have anything to discuss, I'll be free to go through that, okay? Before I open it to the public.
I'm just concerned about access, left or right. And so, I'd asked previous if there's been any discussions with the neighbors. And so I wanted to know if that's been addressed.
Well, like I said, I submitted, equipment that can get into that area. I submitted in the previous pictures of the
Right.
equipment and the belly dimension, the carriage dimension, and there is equipment out there that can do that.
Okay, but reality is construction site, and so your bare minimum tolerance to get past the building. So has there been a discussion with the neighbor, left or right, because there's the potential for infringement?
I mean, worst case scenario, if they don't want equipment to get into the back, it'll be carried back, and they could use a chute on the concrete truck to shoot the concrete. It's not that big of a foundation.
It's a
I mean,
crawl
I've
space.
seen that done in the city all the time, when you're in,
You're saying a pump, yeah.
yeah, use a pump, or I've seen them truck it back in big barrels. But the framing, the wood can certainly be carried back.
Yeah, I'm thinking if it's a crawl space, you're gonna need a machine. I'm sure that's not gonna be dug by hand. There's gonna be excess dirt. So there's soil movement and a fair amount of business being, going front to back across the left or right side, however you deem you get back there. So that, again, I'll go back to the same question. It's probably something that should be discussed with the neighbor, even if there's going to be encroachment. Not probably not. It probably will be. So if you had addressed that, it would make the board's decision a lot easier.
Well, I thought this was the avenue that neighbors could show to express their concerns, and we could have that conversation this evening if necessary.
Okay. Well, we haven't opened up to the public.
No, I'm just saying.
Fair enough.
This is the avenue.
Okay. I'm going to open up to the public for comments that you've heard tonight from this witness. Please, if you have anything, come up, state your name. Okay, seeing none, I bring it back to the board. Board members, any further discussion?
At this point, we're down to one variance. I mean, just simple math, it's 2%. It's about 152 square feet. So. I mean, rough calculations, it's about 8 inches across the back that needs to come off so that the whole project complies. I think I appreciate the work that Mr. Ferraro did from the first design to this design, which was, showing his good faith effort to minimize or eliminate the variances. At this point, I mean, it seems that 8 inches is all not that much, so that there are no variances.
Well, 8 inches brings the decking down to 8 feet instead of 8 feet 10, which almost makes that better.
I'm looking across the back where the master is 14.4 to the bump out, so maybe.
So that 14.4 is to the bay bump out.
Okay.
If we take off 8 inches, we're not gonna have enough room for that chassis.
So maybe it doesn't come out there, maybe it comes off the left side. I mean, at the end of the day, 8 inches is, we're at a game of inches here. It's like, so at the end of the day, I think I really do appreciate what you presented to us, but.
Well, we present it this way: if the board denies it because of the 2%, then I can see going back and reduce that. But we would really like to maintain it. We really reduced it. The owners have made a significant sacrifice.
I do not dispute that. Unfortunately, we can't make decisions based on that. It's based on the benefits outweighing the detriments, right? So there's a burden of proof that you have to basically testify to and prove to, so that we can feel that all options were seeked, so that we can feel comfortable. And again, like I said the last time, not set a precedent where we're approving stuff just because it's 7 inches, or just because it's right there, almost there. Unfortunately, we can't vote on almost.
Well, no, question, I think you misunderstood my question. My question is if the board votes tonight the way I present it and it's denied, I can then just resubmit for a permit with no variance is needed. I don't have to become.
Correct.
Which would be, which would be amazing.
I would prefer not to do that. I think the owners have been very cooperative, very patient. This is 2%. To move this at 8 inches in either direction on either side puts me back in a side yard variance situation. The design feature here, the aesthetic of this addition is that bay bump out, which adds an architectural feature here instead of it looking so boxy. That to me is important as a professional. Shaving 8 inches off that walk-in closet makes it useless. So while the 8 inches seems minimal, it's significant in the design of the bathroom and closet.
What if it's a combined dimension from your first and second floor, instead of just taking it off the top, just take a little bit off the bottom and the top? I mean, I think it's, at this point, we're splitting hairs, but it goes from us having to approve something just because you're mathematically it's not working out, from presenting a drawing that will not need a variance on an undersized lot. I mean,
Less mathematics and more quality of life, but I'll consult with the owner if you give me a second. I can tell you what this means. If we reduce this piece and come in here, I think we're going to reduce something that big.
I mean, it's 152 square feet. So
if we take 4 inches off downstairs and 4 inches off the upstairs over the length, I'm gonna lose the laundry room off the kitchen.
What dimension is currently there in the laundry room?
I don't think you can. It goes from walking into being bifold with washer dryer. I don't know that you're gonna lose it.
Right now, we have 5'4". The way I'm showing that washer and the dryer, they butt up right against each other. We know that's really, they move around and so on. So I have them pretty much away in there.
How about stackables? There's options there. I mean, it's.
And then now you're asking me to buy this line.
No, I'm just asking you to conform so we don't have to.
So we don't have to go through a variance.
That's what it comes down to.
Can I ask what is the point of the variance?
It's an undersized lot, so we can't.
No, he's asking what's the point of the process?
The process of getting a variance.
You have to prove,
I have to comply with every single code.
because there's no hardship. You bought an undersized lot. That's not what we're not here to approve a variance based on the fact that you bought an undersized lot.
So you don't prevent any variances.
It's very difficult to get a variance. That's why there's zoning ordinances that are passed, right? There's a master plan that's approved by the mayor and council, and we follow that master plan. It's not based
You're
on.
asking us to track for 8 inches.
Yeah, because
I'm asking you to just prove 8 inches. We've already downsized this project.
it doesn't, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. And if you had an attorney, he would probably explain it a little better, but it doesn't work that way. Otherwise, there's no need for us. You go to the building department, you say it's only 8 inches. The side yard is only a foot.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. And I expressed it.
Beginning, we think.
I
now
think,
7:20.
I think we've expressed,
Now, they're 25.
we expressed it in the beginning that you were in an undersized lot and it was a pretty much an uphill battle from day one.
You also told us if we did certain things, then it would be easier. We were told to get some keynotes from you guys. So from the beginning, this was explained that this would be impossible. I've been coming here 7 times now. It's this kind of, I think communication could have been a little bit better in this situation. Now we're talking about 8 inches. Where before we were talking about 10% increase. So we were like, okay, we'll work with that. Let's go down. Now we're talking about 8 inches and they're still.
Unfortunately,
Giving us the right
it's not a
language.
negotiation.
Yeah.
You don't ask for 50 and then come back
No.
for 20 and we say, oh, it's good.
For
It
sure.
doesn't- it doesn't work that way.
We're just trying to understand.
No, I understand.
disagree with you, because last time I was here, you suggested that we reduce the size of.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
conform.
to get
So
it.
that was not the word you used. You said, is it possible to compromise and reduce?
And eliminate,
Okay.
and I said eliminate variances.
Yeah. To eliminate the variances required.
Well, I think we made a concerted effort here. I think that, and quite honestly, I'm an architect, 36 years. I've never seen an FAR denied of 2%. I don't know whether or not that makes a difference in this discussion, but. The other board members that comment here?
Actually, I think you're there. I mean, you did the homework, you're close. The 4 inches, you still have the laundry room downstairs. You still have the whole suite upstairs. You can make it work. It's not that much, not you're sacrificing. You did the hard part. You got there. Just bring it home.
And then no variances are needed, and away we go.
All right, so do we have to come back now if we agree to that, or we just go straight to start?
If there's no variance, it goes right to permit.
That's correct.
Yeah, if it's a conforming
No
application, there's no action.
Exactly. There's no action by this board then. Everything fits. Get your permits and away you go.
Probably gonna be quicker to do that than if we voted on something and you wait for a resolution, you have to wait a month for another meeting. The fastest course is to just make it fit and go get your permits.
Plop it down, make it happen, and away you go. Well, it depends on what they want to do.
So I think at this
I'm
point,
lighter
you
than
could,
what
you could, have a vote taken or withdraw the application, for that purpose to move forward to get a compliance application with the building department.
Probably better off not, because then you have to wait for the resolution.
We have to decide whether we're withdrawing tonight, or can we do that at another?
No, we can adjourn it.
Okay,
we
let's
can
adjourn
carry.
it, and then we'll have a conversation, but I think most likely we're gonna go like that.
Just lop it down and
Yeah.
submit it to the building
All right,
department.
well, let's adjourn and let's not go,
Okay,
between 24 hours, just to let all this sink in.
okay.
That's fine. So what we'll do is we're announcing that we will carry the application to the October 18th meeting. If anything changes between now and then, please let us know if you're going to withdraw the application or if you want to come back and have a vote on it.
Okay, great.
All right? Okay. No new notice necessary. Application carried to October 18th.
All right. Next on our agenda, application file number LUB 2023-07. Russell and Lisa Young, 101 East Orchard Street, Allendale, New Jersey, 07401, block 1901, lot 11. And the proposal is an addition and renovation pursuant to section 270-37A2 and 270-64B2. Okay.
Joe can come back. John's gonna recuse
Sir?
because he's within the 200 feet, notice limit.
Okay. All right. So,
Do it square thing first.
yes, if we could,
Before
please.
that, I wanted to let you know that I have reviewed the affidavits of mailing, also reviewed the affidavit of publication. They are all in order and proper, so the board has jurisdiction to hear this matter tonight since notice is properly given under the municipal land use law. So we will swear you in. Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth. So why don't we ask everybody, since you may or may not all be talking and speaking? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth through the course of this application. All right, name and address for everybody for the record, just before we start.
Mary Stroh, 240 West Crescent Avenue, B plus architect, and the architect of the applicant.
Russell Young, currently 205 Canterbury Street in Ramsey, hopefully Orchard pretty soon.
Lisa Young, 205 Canterbury Drive.
Okay. Thank you. Mary, you're gonna lead us?
Yep, I'm
So,
gonna leave.
Tell us what you want to do.
We'll
Okay, so.
accept,
Oh, I'm
Mrs.
sorry.
Gross. We'll accept her qualifications. She was only here Monday.
Now
Yeah,
we're good.
I apologize, Mary.
That's okay, I forgot
Just
about
gonna put it on the record
Nope,
that
that's
you are a
fine. Thank
licensed
you.
architect. You haven't had any change in your status since Monday?
Nothing's changed.
All right,
thankfully.
very good. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Tell us what you want to do.
So we're here tonight seeking a side yard variance. I just want to make it clear, maybe for people in the audience as well as here, it's the C1 variance, which is different than the D4 variance in the previous application. The existing lot, what we're proposing is to work from the existing foundation of the house that is there now and construct a center hall colonial. The home is going to be a 4-bedroom home, inclusive of the garage, and it's 4981 in the gross square footage. This lot is an undersized lot. It's in the zone for 26,000, and the lot size is 2244. And it's also a narrow lot, so under the C1 variance, exceptional narrowness of the lot can be considered for this type of variance. We're at 150 feet where 130 feet is required. We do meet all the requirements for building coverage, building height, and floor area ratio, for building area. The only variance that we're requesting tonight is for the side yard variance, and then there's existing nonconformities in the lot area and the lot width. The side yard variance is on the left-hand side, does conform with the proposed square footage, the enhanced side yard setback. We go from a 20-foot side yard setback requirement to 34.9. So on the left-hand side of the property, we do conform. On the right-hand side, it's 17.3, and that is the dimension to the fireplace. It is 18'7" to the actual structure of the house. We are proposing to build in a rectilinear fashion going straight back from the house. We have designed the residence so at the first floor, we're reconfiguring the existing square footage. We're going out in the back with the family room. And then at the second floor, we've only placed 1 bedroom and the stairwell on that right-hand side. We have tried to load the second floor bedroom more square footage on the left-hand side of the house where we do conform with that side yard setback. That way, it is not 2 stories all the way back. It's just 2 stories for the front. So you get the balance of that kind of whole colonial look at the front of the residence, reducing that mass in the back where we're adding to the back of the house. In terms of the overall aesthetic, if you look at sheet SK 14, you can see the overall aesthetic of the, colonial style homes. We are proposing party board siding, red veneer at the base of the house, and at least an asphalt shingle, possibly a cedar shake, if still, looking at options of real cedar, simulated cedar versus asphalt, but in general, the aesthetic of the house is in keeping with the renderings that we're providing you today. And we do provide the rear elevation, which shows the deck in the back, because the covered area of the deck on the left-hand side where the side yard is conforming. And we would like to have a deck off the back of the house, but kept that open on the 18-foot-7 side. And SK 16, you can see the side yard, the view of the side yard. This side of the house is also the side of the, it faces the driveway side of the home next door. So we're not impacting their initial, their main living room or anything either. So that house is under construction right now. So their driveway is on this side of the property line. In addressing some of the comments on Mr. Veland's report, the finishes I just went over, the comments on the trees, there are 6 trees that we're proposing to take down as a result of the construction. There's 1 in the front, 3 on the side, and 2 in the back. The exterior lighting, we will install exterior lighting per code on the outside of all of the doors, to and from the house. There is a pool shown on the plan. That is for planning purposes. The final pool design has not been decided. It may not actually be implemented at this point. We put it there to just show that, if and when they do put a pool in, we can still meet the coverage calculation for that. So we did it with them as a planning exercise, and we just thought it would be good to show you as well. The pool is currently 10 feet from the deck. It may actually be further if we, once they do that final design. That is not the going to be part of the building application at this point. The owners will coordinate with the new water and sewer connections with Viola, as well as providing an as-built plan and getting any other required approvals from the county, street opening, tree removal, and the construction department. So in summary, we're applying for a C1 hardship variance, seeking the side yard setback to maintain that existing side yard. We have worked with the owner to keep the bulk of that from the new work towards the left where we are conforming, and we're not exasperating that existing side yard setback. And that just also note again that it's 17.3 to the fireplace, it's actually 18.7 to the structure.
I have a quick question. So on the tax map, it shows the neighboring property, it shows the combined distance between, I guess it's 54.2 feet between the 2 homes. Roughly. But that home's under construction.
I have a feeling that that home is under construction, and a lot of times we use Google Maps for.
No, I'm just curious if the new home or the home that's being built, obviously having been before the board, so everything fits in the envelope, but if it's going to make that, it's going to stay the same, or it's going to make it a little less, so that is going to narrow it down.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what their side yard impact is.
Maybe we could look at their
Yeah,
site
I mean,
plan
I
at
don't
some
know.
point.
I don't know what the setback is. I do know that they did come to the board originally for some variances, and then they changed their
their
plan,
mind.
and they started conforming.
But what is the side yard on that? It's supposed to be?
It may be the enhanced side yard setback. So it would be dependent on the gross building area.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
It's our project, and I don't know that. It's probably about the same. It's probably going to get bigger because it conforms so
So that's what I'm getting at,
I
like,
think
so,
it's gonna be more than the 50.
because the original one
54,
didn't
because they-
conform,
Yeah,
so the new house is going to
Yeah.
conform. So
they
that,
definitely conform and
that distance may become 60 feet instead of 54,
correct,
which would be better.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're at least similar in size, so they're.
Yeah, that's
they-
what I
they're
noticed.
About that 35, I don't think they hit the 40. What's the maximum for, the Chevrolet? One, have it. Yeah, they didn't hit, I don't think they hit the 40 for their setbacks, but they're in similar keeping scale of the house. That's another, another point to note, that the scale of this house is in keeping with other homes in the neighborhood. So they're probably about that 35 feet.
Okay.
So even if that was the conservative, it's,
No, I'm
maybe
just,
34, and then we're at 18, and then,
yeah, when you said it was under construction, I knew, again, that to Mike's point, they made everything work. And the old house probably didn't conform. It's probably it's getting better.
I did not locate the trees. I went there today to count the trees, and there were 6.
There's 6 trees.
Yeah.
And they're all remaining?
There's, I'm sorry, there's 6 trees that will be
Sorry,
removed
6
as a
being
result of
removed.
the construction.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
And most of them were, between 5 and 8 when I mean, I didn't use calipers, so, but third, yeah, there was one that was a bigger tree, and then the 5 of them were like,
But you don't have those delineated.
I did not delineate them on the survey, but we can delineate delineate them when we do the engineering, if that's, if the board would like us to do that.
I would like, Michael, would you?
Yeah, are any of them up front, like in the front yard?
There's one, it's actually in the picture, you can see on the, there's one, in front of the garage on the left. And it's not that tall. And actually, let me look at the other pictures and see if you can see them. So if you look on SK13, right in front of the garbage can, there's like a tree there. And then to the right, you can see 2 of the trees in the back.
The ones that are kind of leaning towards
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah.
So in the front, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So in the front, it potentially, the renderings obviously show landscaping that may or may not be exact, but there's a potential for a few street trees to be replaced, maybe in the front.
The intention is to do the planting at the end of the construction, to do a full planting scheme. It
I'm
just
not
has
just
to be
talking in front of
developed.
the house, I'm talking maybe as street tree, ornamental.
That's something that the town would like to provide that, for sure.
And just to be
And it would be
clear,
nicer than the one that's there. The one, it's kind of like sad.
Was that professional terminology?
Yeah.
You guys make it.
I'm not an arborist, but.
and just to be clear, in, was it 13, in the upper left-hand picture there, I don't know if it's on the property, judging from the picture, there's a large oak or whatever it is. That's
the big,
is that one coming down, or is that the remaining?
there is one in the
I'll
back.
put, Mary, that you have 13?
Yeah,
In the upper left-hand, there's a tree
yeah.
kind of beyond the chimney.
I don't know if it's that one or the one like that's kind of to the left of the chimney that you see the top.
Well, when I look at the bottom picture on the lower right,
Yeah,
I'm seeing 2. I'm assuming that those were the 2 that you were just referring to.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
come down.
yes, in the back.
And I'm as I look at that, I don't see that as being the tree in the upper left.
No, I think the one that you see in the upper left is in the side yard. But there's one that's like further back, like kind of where, the deck will go.
Okay.
There are quite a few of large trees like further back in the backyard as well, so. They may be trimmed up or something, but
But they'll
the
remain.
goal is to keep that wooded area.
So to the left of the telephone pole, I'm just looking at a Google Earth image. To the left of the telephone pole, there's a couple of large trees that may or may not be within the right of way, right, within the 10 foot. They're right behind the sidewalk. Those are not coming down?
No.
Okay.
We're only gonna take whatever's in the way of the construction.
Gotcha.
So there's, you know, like a couple in the back where it's just too close to the house, you know.
Just to answer your previous question, Frank, I pulled up the plot plan for the neighboring property. So prior to construction, that side yard setback was roughly 30.5 feet. And with the new home, that side yard setback now is proposed at 32.6 feet.
We're getting better.
So that's good. I like that.
So your testimony is that the hardship is the pre-existing non-conforming condition?
The narrowness of the lot.
Well, Mayor, as I always ask you, was there a plan B? Did you look at possibly rearranging and not using the existing floor plan and trying to make it comply?
I think when we looked at other options, it wasn't as efficient of a plan. You know, we're working with that existing foundation and the house sits to the right of the property already, which was kind of very common because the driveway is on the left. They pushed the house to the right, conforming when it was built. So a lot of times what we find is when we're building into these houses, it's easier to build rectilinear and roof it to get that colonial look. And it wasn't as efficient to kind of put everything into the conforming area. We felt that if we could maintain that existing setback and be compliant on the other side. That was,
So the existing foundation, like you testified, staying the same, that's not changing, you're not taking that out. Okay. As far as the plantings go, I know you don't show that, you're removing 6, which you're allowed to do. Is there an intent to put 6 back or more than 6 or, you know, substantial trees, not just shrubs, but like something?
Yeah,
Like,
we can do that. I mean, we like that look anyway, so we'd be open to it.
Yeah, Allendale, we're very, we like our trees, and we think it enhances the neighborhoods, and you know, obviously you don't want it too close to the house, so there's damage or anything like that, but you know, we would appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah. No, perfect. Okay.
Board members?
All right, I'm going to open it up now to questions from the public. Come up to the stand, state your name, and ask your question of these witnesses on this particular application. So, any questions? Comments? Okay. Seeing none, hearing no one, bring it back to the board. Thank you. Board members?
The only other question I would have is, I mean, you doing any kind of lighting that's gonna directly shine into any of your neighbors? Any proposal like that?
Just nothing like that. It's just outside the doors,
Okay.
like wall trunks, just outside of the garage doors and the front and other
Okay.
doors.
I mean, downspouts and everything obviously will be pitched so that they're not going into other people's
Yeah.
properties.
Upon approval, they have engaged an engineer, will, you know, included all that stuff to.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it will require a plot plan and a
Yeah.
soil movement or county soil approval as well.
You agree to it?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And certainly since a lot of the measurements are close to or at near the requirements, you'll have to work closely with the borough engineer on construction to make sure it complies with those because it is kind of close.
And we noted that for the board's information in our review report that although they don't exceed on several of the bulk standards and floor area ratios, right at the maximum for several of the zoning requirements, height, floor area ratio, coverage, those types of issues. So if this was to be approved by the board, you're not acting on any other variances, so the construction will have to be in strict conformance with what's proposed.
I'm not sure the framer knows.
Yes, I mean, we are noticing this is very, very
Yeah.
tight
Yep.
to the height.
Yeah.
We didn't
we
get
will
there
make
yet,
sure.
but
If we have to, look, if there's room to, like, if he runs into a
What's the
problem,
pitch on this roof proposed? Like a 10 on 12?
it's pretty deep, yeah, so
10 on 12?
I think if we reduced it by a 0.5% to make sure that they were underneath that, pitch, that's not a problem. And he'll see if there's no
Oh, he doesn't eyeball.
Yeah,
No.
I would, 12, some of them are 12 on 12, 14 on 12, so
Yeah.
there's room to drop that. It's still not room to extend it.
please.
So I have the 4 bedrooms, so the little princess gets a room. Did you actually get to pick her own color?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair color.
Oh, you're going today. Hey,
Yeah.
I'll never guess.
never.
Again, I just want to touch upon one more, again, the height. And the height being measured from the garage as called out on the plans.
And the height's measured from the lowest finished
lowest
grade
finished grade, yeah.
adjacent to the building to the peak.
Okay. And again, you guys agree that everything,
Yeah. You know, that it is lowest to highest, not,
Okay. You
not
know
front
that-
yard, not average. We know it's lowest to highest. We will make sure that the framer, gets his transit out and frames it, to the height we say or less.
okay.
Sure, Anthony will check it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna say on behalf of the borough, between Mr. Wheeler and Mr. Hackett, on top of the borough's team, so keep an eye on that. They work very well with Mrs. Squirrel as it is, so.
Yep.
Fair enough. Thank you, sir. Michael, perhaps I should have, but I know that there was some discussion on your letter already as we were hearing testimony, so is there
Yes, sir.
any other things on there, please?
No, as indicated, 3 non-conforming conditions, 2 really not directly with what they're proposing to do. Existing lot area and existing lot width and pre-existing deficiencies that aren't being changed by the proposal. And based on the size and the amount of gross building area, it triggers the enhanced side yard setback.
Mhm.
So, portion of the structure is gonna be, located in that enhanced side yard setback.
Okay.
And as indicated in item 3.2, we did identify, and these are all calculations and information that was included in the zoning table, but we just wanted to point out the fact that, there's 4 other zoning requirements that they're not exceeding, but they're bumping up right against.
The red again.
This is a fully developed, really piece of property based on the proposal.
And Mary, the height, I just keep going back to the height.
We'll make, yeah,
Okay.
there's room to adjust the pitches if and feel we're not gonna need it. We will make sure that it is under 35 feet.
Michael, is there anything else on the other one?
I don't really have anything else.
Okay. Board members? Board members, anything else?
No.
Okay. I just want to open it to the public again, because Mr. Breland provided other information there. If there's any comments or questions from the public that you just heard in the last couple of minutes that you want to comment on? Okay. Bringing it back to the board then. Thank you. Could I have a motion?
Any comments in favor or against? No? So, Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to make a motion to accept this application based on the testimony that the applicant will work with the borough engineer to make sure that the height is correct. The 6 trees that you'll be taking down will be, a landscaping plan will be proposed and potentially put back trees of a similar nature to enhance the property and the neighbors, and any other information that you agreed to and testified to.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
You, sir? Linda, can I have a roll call, please?
Board Member Castrino?
Yes.
Board Member Kistner?
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio?
Yes.
Board Member Gallo?
Up to you. No, refuse. Refuse.
Chairman Tirico?
Yes.
Alternate Rosella?
Yes.
Alternate Butler?
Yes.
Okay.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
this will be, there'll be a resolution next month's meeting. You don't need to be in attendance. And then after that, if there's anything that you want to start doing, but, we can't do any, the resolution will be at next month's meeting on the 18th, October 18th, the October 20th. 18th, 20th.
It's on the 20th. October 18th.
October
One of those
18th.
days.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Not gonna keep the red, huh, on the siding?
We've been months and months making this house fit in with like what Allendale feels like to us. And,
Well,
like,
You picked the right architect.
Yeah.
so thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good
Good
luck.
luck.
Mary, thank you.
I have a technical question. When we come in the future, do you like would you prefer that we present on the screen or indifferent?
Be nice to see it if you can. If you can.
Yeah.
So,
Plus, you know what else too, Mary, I have this with me. I mean, you can always just.
oh, yeah.
He just wanted to use
I just want.
Okay.
He bought it on Amazon 2 years ago. I never got a chance.
There are plans to renovate this room for
User-friendly, yeah.
so.
I said that there are some towns. that
Want to do
are
some pro bono work and design it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I'll have the advantage, I can set it up.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, if you
There
need
you
any
go.
input, Ron, you let us know.
Oh, trust me, I have
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Okay. Thank you again.
You want to put up karaoke space?
Okay. All right. Next on our agenda is any other business that might be before the board or comments, et cetera, et cetera. Mr. Kister, you have anything, anything you care to speak about or?
So on behalf of the Land Use Committee, we did meet last week. We did have a good discussion. I did propose language for a new resolution ordinance to include the elimination of planting of bamboo in the borough of Allendale.
Sorry, yeah.
The public can just.
Excuse me, everybody. We're still in session. Can you guys
I'm
please?
sorry. Thank you, sir.
So there is language that the borough attorney is reviewing to potentially put in our code, to prohibit the planting of bamboo
Okay.
and the mediation of bamboo. Also propose some additional language to part of our code in reference to awnings and canopies. Mr. Kistner and then Mr. Limentola were great about, letting our vendors in town know that some of the canopies were dirty, mildewed, and, it creates a little bit of a hazard. It's unsightly. So just a little bit of minor language additions in the code to just include mildew and dirt and cleaning. And we're also looking at checking our code for some other renditions and edits and changes and updates in some of the other sections. But as I learned quickly, I can't do too much too fast. So we're pacing ourselves.
I just want to thank you for the bamboo situation. I know that's come up in some other previous.
It's going to be prohibited everywhere except your property.
We're gonna tell your neighbors to plant it now.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I thought we didn't pass it.
There you go. Thank you. Hey, if you notice, when you go up through Saddle River, as a turn before you start going up into Franklin Lakes, there's a whole wall of bamboo. I think it's great. It grows fast.
Deers don't eat it.
Yeah. Deer don't eat it. Okay. I don't want to keep everybody here. I just want to express to the board 2 nights this week. Thank you very much for your dedication and for being here. And with that, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, thank you, everybody. See you next month. Thank you again. Meeting adjourned.